Didn't want to forget this little ditty. If you notice, the stopper that we put on top of the doohickey here, as I call it, one side of it, the top, is flat, and the other side that sits on top of the doohickey is a little rounded. It's a little rounded so that it can accommodate the shape of the doohickey. So what you want to do is to make sure that that round part is facing down. If it's not facing down, you probably will have the sloshy pedal again. So you want to make sure that the rounded part is facing down so that when you tighten it with the bolt up here, then there's no give there. You want to make sure, I mean, there's only one way the doohickey goes in anyway because of the flat rod that's there. But the flat part should be at the top, the rounded part at the bottom. When that goes in, tighten here, and you get a responsive pedal. Next thing I want to talk about real quick is spring tension. Now, the spring tension isn't something that's necessarily going to affect the height of the pedal, if at all. It's just going to affect how much resistance there is from the pedal to your foot or to your leg. So I have the bad boy right side pedal here, and just to make a comparison on the spring that affects my right pedal, I have it pretty long, which means that there's gonna be a little more resistance. And the left pedal has two springs. Let me bring it over here. This is a 3-spring system for this pedal, which is one reason why it's, you know, pretty good pedal for the money. This spring right here for the left side, and on the right pedal, this second spring, these two affect the left pedal. So you're going to want to adjust them the way you want. Whether if you want it longer for there to be a little more resistance, or shorter where there's less resistance. And the way you do that, I'll use this one here. You'll see this nut here that goes up and down. You want to loosen that. If you want to make it longer so that there's more tension, you just want to mess around, start moving this adjuster right here, and you'll notice the rod in the middle, I don't know if you can see that, the rod in the middle, it'll start to go down and down, making the spring longer and longer. You want to have some give there. You can guess where you can put it at a certain position, and then here's where you want to tighten it with the little wrench here. So you just hold it at the bottom. You don't have to overdo it. Just tight enough so that it's tight and it doesn't get loose. And that's very secure. It's secured on both sides, and there will be a good amount of tension there, but that's just more for the feel of the pedal, because after you have everything connected, there should not be any sloshiness. It should work just fine. Here we have the left pedal again, and this applies to both pedals. Practically everything I've said applies to both pedals. But anyway, I don't know if it happens to some of you where the footboard is actually a little loose. It goes from side to side like that. What you can do is you can get a flathead screwdriver, and you can, right here, you see that there is a slot there where you can fit, there you go, you can fit a flathead screwdriver. So as of right now, it kind of moves back and forth all wiggly. But once I tighten it a little bit, again, you don't have to go crazy here. Let me put it down. Just tighten it a little bit there. Now it's a little tighter. Tighten it a little more. Now there's no give. There. So now after I tighten that, this thing ain't moving. It's still stable. You still have a stable pedal, but it's not moving side to side. Like I said, I don't think you want to go too crazy and crank that until it breaks. You definitely don't want to do that. But that gives it another dimension of stability. Okay, so here we have the pedals all back together again. Just remember a few things, that anything we discussed that can be adjusted goes for both pedals. As far as the cam system, as far as tightening the bolts, the Allen wrenches, Allen screws, whatever you want to call them. You know, the way we adjusted the height of the pedal by loosening the attachment of the spring and then moving the cam up or down and then tightening again, that gets it to a height that you want. Goes for both pedals. The tension on the springs, the left pedal has 2 springs, the right pedal just has this one. And the second Allen wrench that I mentioned to you that came with the pedals is for adjusting the beaters, as far as where you want, you know, you can slide it to the left or to the right, and you can kind of position it on where you want it to hit the bass drum head. And one other thing is that these little screws that you can screw by hand are the pegs per se that go into either the rug or the drum mat, whatever you have your drums on, so that they don't slide around. So that's all the adjustments that you can do. I can't tell you how to adjust it as far as the feel, because that's totally up to you. I'm gonna put it a certain way, put it back on my bass drum, and if I need to adjust it, at least I know how to do it. If you still have any questions, you can go to my website, theparadiddler.com, leave me a comment or email me at omar@theparadiddler.com, and I'll just put these back in the kit and whale away. Thanks for watching.